Make sure to subscribe to this channel for more videos like this.
Weekend. So that's going to be right around New Year's Eve into New Year's Day. So we're already tracking this next storm that has a warm side and a cold side. So we're actually going to see two disturbances combining that's going to bring in the cold air. That's where you see snow possible. It is likely to see winter weather alerts from Colorado through parts of Kansas City all the way up through Chicago. And then we got this, yet more severe weather and heavy rain this weekend.
Yeah, another around and riding right on through here as we ring in that New Year here. So this system's certainly going to have a wide-reaching impacts here for us, whether you're on the warmer side or on the colder side. Let's track that warm side here because, again, more moisture around. In fact, we've got that in place now. You step outside, you feel it. It does not feel like the end of December.
It's soupy.
Yes, absolutely. So that's an environment that's setting the stage for some of these storms. Then we look at the wind environment here for us, and those low-level winds, they're actually going to be increasing here as we move into Friday and Friday night, and that really helps to organize these thunderstorms a bit more.
Yeah, and with all this moisture still in place, not only are we going to have that severe weather threat, but also just be on the lookout for a flood threat. It may be likely to see some flood watches posted, especially with how much rain falls now through Friday, and then we have this for the weekend. But along with that, there's that Friday evening into the overnight time frame, our next threat for severe weather, all the way from Texarkana, Little Rock, Memphis, Nashville. You're included in this, and we kind of seem like a broken record because, Alex, these are very similar cities that we're talking about today.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to have to be on guard here in some of these same locations here for some time. All right, early Saturday, watching our cold front, which is going to be on the move now. Now, out ahead of it, again, still strong winds in the low levels, but as you look at those upper level winds, also pretty strong in the area where we have the best instability. So where those things overlap is where you'll find the best opportunity for some of those stronger storms to really impact us.
And then behind this front, wow, after this is all said and done, we are going to have a massive temperature drop. Places like Nashville that's been in the 60s and 70s, they're going to be in the 30s come this weekend. So a big shock to the system, even though you may be closer to where you should be for this time of the year, at least for some parts of the country.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing. It's like we've been so warm that even though we're going back to, you know, some slightly below average, it's going to be a slap in the face. All right, there's your Saturday's outlook for severe thunderstorms. Lower Mississippi Valley working way into even southern parts of Kentucky. Well, watching you closely here for New Year's Day.
And tracking some of this rain as we head through Friday, you'll have some showers out and ahead of this. So again, you may have to have that plan B for your New Year's Eve plans as well as even into New Year's Day. But then as we go into Saturday morning, there's that rain spreading all the way across parts of the Tennessee Valley, getting into the deep south and even the Gulf Coast, looking at some rain come New Year's Day. So maybe just one of those days you're going to be staying inside, sitting on the couch, watching the Weather Channel, because we're going to be here giving you 24/7 coverage as we head through all of these
and when they may be talking about the worst of the weather.
Yeah, let's walk everyone through their day today because this is going to be a pretty busy one for the deep south. So let's talk about some timing in a place like Memphis. So Memphis, you're going to see this a little earlier, around 2-3 o'clock. You'll start to see those thunderstorms approaching your doorstep. First, I want to talk about the Torcon. You have a 3 and 4 in and around the Memphis area. So again, it goes to 10, but it's not 0. So it's certainly there that you could see some isolated spin-ups along with those damaging straight line winds and blinding rain that is going to be coming through. Let's time this out with the future radar. Memphis, you are dry until about 1-2 o'clock. That's when we start to see some thunderstorms knocking on your door. And then this will continue to roll through until about 5 o'clock. So it's a pretty short window of time between about 1 and 5 that you could see some of these strong storms, but certainly be on high alert. They could pack a punch as they go through your area. Now, let's move on over to Tupelo. Tupelo, you've been seeing some rain early this morning. This is not the main show, so don't let that fool you and say, okay, well, I'm seeing rain out there right now. It's going to be later on this afternoon that the round that we're concerned about will roll through your area. Right now, you have a 4 on the Torcon today, so we do have that chance for some tornadic activity. Right now, 10 o'clock and on, we're going to be continuing to watch that wall of rain roll through. And then you may see just a bit of a break between some more isolated showers before we have our next round come through. That's going to be around 5 o'clock. Look at that. It's going to be a doozy. We could see some damaging straight line winds, some hail, as well as that threat for isolated tornadoes. So again, please have a way to get weather alerts as we head through this afternoon. A lot's going to be in play for Tupelo. We're going to have to watch what this rain this morning has done to your atmosphere. Will it stabilize it at all? Are we going to see some more breaks of sun throughout the day? Those factors could really play into what we see later on this afternoon. Now, in a place like Nashville, especially farther down to the south, we're going to be watching for a higher chance for some tornadic activity, especially south of I-40. But Nashville, you'll still get in on some of the action, especially as we go through this afternoon. After a few isolated showers roll through by 4 or 5 o'clock, the gates really open up. So we'll have that chance for severe storms as well as some very heavy rain, efficient rainfall producers here in Nashville. And then this all exits as we go into about the 7, 8 o'clock hour. And when this goes into other spots like eastern Alabama, northern Georgia, northwestern Georgia, this is going to be overnight. So again, some spots aren't going to see this at 3, 4 o'clock. You're going to be watching this well after sunset. Birmingham, you also have a chance for Torcon out there, about a 3 to 4 in and around the area of Birmingham. By the morning hours, you are dry, but then as we go through the afternoon, it's going to be a little later that we start to see those thunderstorms approaching the Birmingham area. So this is 7 o'clock on the radar. We'll be watching this a little bit north of Birmingham, but we could also have some more cells develop south of the area into the overnight time frame. So your threat for severe weather is going to last a little later into the night, and that's why we're concerned with that, because tornadoes at night, you got to have a way to get those weather alerts, Alex. Now, let's talk about the West Coast. Right now, over the next several days into Saturday, we still have rain to come for Southern California. Could be watching for some flooding in those areas. Already flood watch is posted, as well as portions of Arizona seeing the rain. The higher elevations, though, of the Cascades, the Sierras, also getting into parts of the Colorado Rockies, the Front Range, could see a decent amount of snow. So this next system adding more snow to areas that have already seen 2 winter storms. So the snow deficit, yeah, it's no more for much of the area. We're talking feet of snow for parts of Colorado, stretching down into portions of the Four Corners. Certainly something that is a welcome sight for some areas that maybe we're thinking they may not see much for the rest of 2021. Right now on the radar, we still have rain in and around the San Francisco area. They're seeing their 6th wettest December on record, with more rain falling from the skies. Higher elevations, though, seeing the snow there in parts of the Sierra. And then you see this. There's a big low pressure system sitting off the coast right now. And this is actually what is going to bring in our active weather this weekend for parts of the country, such as Texas, and then moving across to the East Coast. So it's actually going to combine with yet another piece of energy and bring in a warm side and a cold side to that storm as we go into the beginning of 2022. San Francisco is still looking at the rain, also closer to Tahoe, looking at snow in the higher elevations right around Mammoth. Then as we go down and across parts of Southern California, we have flood watches that are already posted over the next couple days. Doesn't take much for the deserts to flood. So the Coachella Valley areas just around Palm Springs, I mean, you could just see a couple inches and you'll have major problems. Also watching for multiple inches of rain across the coastline, as well as portions of the higher elevations, upwards of 5 to 7 inches of rain. So a lot to come there for Southern California. Alex?
Absolutely.